Welcome to episode 2 of the Summer 2020 College Day webinar series. We're excited to have you with us. Today's episode, Career Exploration, is presented by a vibrant team of career professionals from the Office of Career and Student Employment Services from Western Michigan University. I'd like to thank our sponsors from the KCP College Day Initiative and the Office of Pre-College Programming at Western Michigan University. This series of webinars is brought to you by the Western Michigan University and the College Day program. We are here to connect high school students to the topics, the people, and the resources to help prepare you for college and your college journey. We come to you virtually on Wednesdays from noon to 1 through August 19th. All of these websites and the webinar resources are focused on our theme, where are you going to college and how can we help you get there? We'd like to take a moment to read our land acknowledgement from Western Michigan University.
We would like to recognize that Western Michigan University is located on lands historically occupied by the Ojibwe, Ottawa, and Potawatomi nations. Please take a moment to acknowledge and honor this ancestral land of the Three Fires Confederacy, the sacred lands of all Indigenous peoples and their continued presence.
Each week, your hosts of the series join you to help spread college knowledge. I'm Dr. Ramona Lewis. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I serve as a faculty member in the Department of Educational Leadership, Research, and Technology, and I specialize in higher education leadership.
And my name is Madison Liebler. I am a graduate student at Western Michigan University, and I'm assisting Dr. Lewis in putting on these webinars for you all.
She's being modest. She's pretty much done everything. Thanks, Madison. So before we get going with our webinar for today, we're going to start with a little interactive poll trivia question. So we want to encourage those of you who are watching, especially if you are live on our Zoom webinar, you can participate in our polls. And for those of you who are watching via Facebook, you can just say your answers out loud to yourself. So roll the poll.
All right. So everyone should see the poll on the screen. And the first question is, where did US President Gerald Ford play football? Your options are Wayne State University, Michigan State University, University of Michigan, or Grand Valley State University. Second question is, this is what you specialize in for your field of study in college. And your options are a minor, a major, a job, or a degree. And I'll give you guys another moment to vote. All right, another couple of seconds. And there we go. So here are our results. So it looks like the most votes came in for the first question for University of Michigan, and that is correct. He did play football for the University of Michigan. And then the second question, everyone got that right. It is a major. That is what you specialize in for your field of study in college.
Great. And some people I noticed thought that President Ford went to Grand Valley State University. And the reason why you might have thought that is because you're right. Gerald Ford grew up in this escaped me, Grand Rapids, Michigan, but he played football and went to school at the University of Michigan, and so the Presidential Gerald Ford Library is in Grand Rapids. So that's where you got those two associated. Thank you for the first poll, and stay with us because we've got more poll trivia questions coming up throughout and at the end. And I'd like to remind everyone who lives on Zoom that you are welcome to type comments into the chat section. Any comments, questions that you have for us, and there will be questions today at the end of the webinar portion officially for us to answer any that you have. So I would like to introduce and welcome our presenters for today on career exploration. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Hagen, and I work in the Office of Career and Student Employment Services at Western Michigan University. So glad to be with you today and to get to share some resources and some cool things that you can do through our office that are free resources to everybody that's watching, whether you're affiliated with Western or not. So our website is wmich.edu/career. It's a great spot to find all these resources we're going to be talking about today. And if you have an individual question for us and you kind of think about it later on after this recording is over and you want to shoot us a quick email, you can email us at wmu-handshake@wmich.edu. That's our general email box, and someone from our staff will get back to you. So want to make sure you have those two key pieces of places to find us and where to go. And let's go ahead and move in to the presentation. So what we're going to do today, our sort of slogan, our tagline for our office is, "We will help you find your fit." And we're talking about this coming from a Western perspective because this is where we are, this is where we work. But I want you all to know that wherever you go to college, there's going to be a career services office. And it's really important that you connect with that office early. It's never too early. Your first day on campus is never too early to start thinking about long-term career goals and finding that right fit. So I'm going to give you a really brief overview of our office at Western so you sort of have an idea of what a career services office can provide. And then my colleagues and I are going to split up these next couple of topics. We're going to talk about some career competencies and skills. We're going to talk about an assessment that can help you find your a major or a career fit for you. And then we're going to talk about a free resource where you can learn more about jobs that might be good fits for you. So a quick overview of our office. We have a couple of different units within our bigger team. So career education, this is what Wayne and Madison and I do within the office. This is really our student-facing kind of arm of the office. So we work with you one-on-one or sometimes in groups to do resume writing, practice interviewing, searching for jobs. Resume is the document that you're going to use to apply for jobs. So even if you don't even have a resume yet, we can help you start one. Our employer engagement arm is really our employer focused. So we bring companies and industries to campus to meet with students, to interview them, to search, do a job search. These are job fairs or info sessions, and we are doing all of those virtually. So a lot of the big events that we used to do kind of before COVID, we are still doing all of those just virtually online. And then we also have student employment. It's right in the title of our office, student employment and service learning. So these are on-campus jobs. So you can work at the front desk of your dorm where you live. You can work in the dining hall. You can work in the library. We have thousands of student jobs on campus. So there's student employment, and then also service learning comes under career and student employment services. So these are curricular community service projects that are part of what you're learning in the classroom and taking that out into the community. So you can see the tie, I hope, between all of these different components of our office that are all focused on career, building career skills, making sure that you are an employable candidate when you graduate college. So with that, I am going to turn it over to my colleague Wayne for this section on the career competencies.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And top of the morning to everyone. Hey everyone, my name is Wayne. I'm also a career development specialist here at Western Michigan University. Now today, I'm going to talk to you about NACE, which is the National Association of Colleges and Employers. Sounds like a really crazy title, may not know what it means, but basically it's a group of employers and educators that came together to say, hey, what types of skills and competencies really should any individual, whether they're graduating only from high school and college, what types of skills should they be able to understand and prepare for as they go into the working field, okay? Now you would think that since this covers all industries and majors, there's going to be a lot. But in actuality, we can go to the next page. little bit too far.
One moment. Sorry,
No
everyone.
worries.
Technical difficulties. There we go.
There we go. In fact, there are only 8, okay? Now I'm going to say each of these, and I'm going to give you a little bit of something to just think on, okay? Now keep in mind, these we like to think of as lifelong power skills that definitely are some things that you can start thinking about now. And then in the next year, in the next 2 years, when you start applying for jobs, looking for other opportunities, and you're asked certain questions about your experience, you can understand from past experiences, okay? So really quickly, we have critical thinking and problem solving, oral and written communication, teamwork and collaboration, technology, leadership, professionalism and work ethic, career management, and intercultural fluency, okay? So basically, with a lot of questions that you may get asked for applications and interviews, a lot of the questions may revolve around these 8, okay? So that's why it's very important to start thinking about, hey, I may have had a chance of doing that sometime. So now, I'll give you all some questions to really think about to start getting ready for these opportunities, okay? For critical thinking and problem solving, we all live in Michigan, or we all live in a place where it may snow. Keep in mind that when it does snow, and let's say you have to figure out a way of getting to school because there wasn't a snow day. That's critical thinking and problem solving, trying to determine how, where, when, and then implement. Let's see here. You have oral and written communication. A question for here is, how do you explain your ideas to a group? Let's say you're in a school club, on a team, or in a class project. When you're working with other people, how do you get your ideas across, okay? Those are definitely some things that you can think about as you move forward throughout high school and then subsequently after. Teamwork and collaboration. What are the moments that you're proud of on being part of a team? Have you finished something on a team that means a lot to you? Again, these are experiences that you can think about when an employer asks, tell me about something that you're proud of. Oh, my team did this. This shows that you're a team player and you have some ideas that you might be able to bring to the table. Speaking of ideas, in the technology section, here's a question. What social media do you use and how do you use it? Have you ever invited someone to an event on Instagram or Facebook? Have you ever created a TikTok? Even with creating a TikTok, you're editing, you're interacting with music and scenes, and you're also doing a little bit of marketing. Pretty crazy, huh? These are the types of experiences that if you start thinking about now, by the time you're at the place where you're being asked about it, you have an understanding of who you are and how you can best move forward. I have a few more questions for you, so we're not done yet, okay? So for leadership, here's a question. What volunteer experiences do you have? Volunteerism is a type of leadership, being able to step up and put yourself in a situation to help out others. Always good, always shows a sense of leadership. And then for global intercultural fluencies, what experiences do you have interacting with someone from a different culture or a different country? Have you noticed how you had to change how you speak? Maybe using a little bit more hands or trying to navigate somewhere that you haven't been, okay? While it may seem simple, we all have experiences in different parts of our lives that can help as far as power skills that we can develop upon, okay? And as far as this is a lot of it. So I will now turn it over back to Madison for our next portion. Thank you, Madison.
Thanks, Wayne. All right, you guys are getting a sneak peek here. So before we move on to the next part of the presentation, we're going to have another poll. So once again, it's going to be just like the last one. If you're following us on Zoom, you will be able to vote on here. And if you're not, you can follow along on the screen. So I'm about to launch the polling now. The first question is, how many times does the average college student change their major? First option is, you can't change your major in college. The second option is 1. Third is 3. And the fourth is 10. And then we have the second question. Which of the following is not one of the NACE competencies? Leadership. Second option is teamwork. The third option is critical thinking or problem solving. And the last is Googling. So I'll give you another moment to vote. All right. And the results are in. So here are the results. It looks like most of you guessed, at 50% actually, guessed that the average college student changes their major 10 times. The average college student actually changes their major 3 times. So you can change your major in college. Everyone knew that. Awesome. And the average time is 3, but it is not uncommon to change it more than that, or maybe just once. Some students go through the whole thing without changing it. Either way is great, as long as you end up happy and in the career that you want to end up in. So the second question, everyone guessed that one correctly, or that the NACE competencies, one of them is not Googling, which is great. So now that we've all answered the poll, we're going to move on to the next part of the presentation. And this is going to be talking about another thing that you can do to improve or to get ready for college and to get ready for your career. Most of you know me as one of the hosts and as someone who is helping Ramona out with these webinars, but I also work at Career and Student Employment Services with Wayne and Sarah. And part of what I do is to talk to students about the focus assessment. So as you can see on the screen, we have the link there for you. You can take the focus assessment for free. It's through Western, but you do not have to be a Western student. So you can take the assessment and get the results for free, and you'll have them forever, access to them online, wherever you're at. So what is the focus assessment? The focus assessment discusses and kind of uncovers your values, your interests, your skills, and your personality. And these 4 components are really important when it comes to choosing a major and to what your career will be later on down the road. They're individual for everyone. There's no wrong answers. It's just kind of uncovering a little bit more about yourself so that you really enjoy college and those classes that you take, and that your career later on is fulfilling and successful. So, what does it look like when you take the focus assessment? When you take the focus assessment, it will bring you to this page. And you can see that there are 5 areas of assessments, and they're just short quizzes that you can take. Again, no wrong answers. And they will tell you a little bit about yourself, and they will also recommend different careers or majors depending on what you've answered in your results. So what you'll find is you can combine these different areas. You can combine all 5 at once. You can see that down on the bottom right, there's an option for that. Or you can just look at one after another and start to think about, does this career sound interesting to me, or does this major sound interesting to me? And then once you click on that option, you can delve a little bit more in depth into what that career is or what that major might involve. The area that we focus on the most in career is the work interest assessment, because it is focused on what are you looking for at work? What are you going to be looking for in your career? So when you click on that and when you take that assessment, it will bring you to the next page. Here we go. And these will be, you'll see something like this. These are my results. So you can see that I have a 3-letter code on the right, and that is called my Holland code. I have ASE, so artistic, social, and enterprising. Again, these are just my results, so you might see a different one, you might see something similar, but if you were to scroll down on this page, it would explain to you what each letter means, what each area means, and what your specific code means to have it in that order. So why is this important? Well, you can search this Holland code on Google and see what comes up. You'll find a list of careers, majors, other people who maybe have the same code as you, who can talk about what their jobs or their interests are. That might give you some ideas. But also, there are specific search engines that are designed to look at your Holland code and bring up careers and majors for you. I do want to say, any of these assessments, you might have taken them before, you might have taken something similar, but they're not crystal balls. So if you see a lot of careers that you're not interested in, that's totally okay. You do not have to, pick a major just because this assessment says so. But it should get you to start thinking, what would I not like about this career? What would I like about this career or this major? And start just kind of investigating those values, interests, skills, and personalities that you have. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Sarah now, and she's going to talk a little bit about one of those specific search engines that will help you delve into those career options.
Awesome. Thanks, Madison. And so one of the things that I hope you're seeing sort of throughout this presentation is that these all are kind of linked together. So we started with these foundational skills that you want to be thinking about in terms of even a part-time job now in high school, or skills that you want to develop throughout college. Then based on those skills and additional skills that you already are bringing to the table in terms of your values, your interests, and your personality, you can take the focus assessment, kind of combine all of those things to get a good fit idea for a major or a career. Once you've done both of those things, I want to show you a little bit about this website called ONET, where you're able to take all of that together and learn more about these potential careers that might be good fits for you. So ONET it's onetonline.org. There's very detailed descriptions of the world of work on ONET. So you can plug in any job title in the world and learn more about the skills, the tasks, the knowledge, and the duties associated with those jobs. This encompasses thousands of jobs covering the entire US economy. So everything from education to engineering, anything in between. So you'll find that at onetonline.org, and I want to show you what this website looks like. So on our next screen, this is the home screen of ONET. There's a lot going on here, but the easiest way to navigate it is at the top right, that occupation quick search. You can also search by different filters. At the bottom right, you'll see this hot technologies, where if you really want to be in something that's cutting edge or up and coming, you can search specifically off of that. But what I want to show you is when you've done the focus assessment and it gives you the result of maybe your skills, your interests, your values, and your personality will fit really well with an engineering career. And one of the majors that pops up for you as an option is mechanical engineering. So what you can do in the occupation quick search on the next screen, you'll see I typed in mechanical engineer. And here are a bunch of related job titles to mechanical engineering. One of the things you're going to see is that there are a couple that have the green leaf by it. So this is like a green eco-friendly job. Some of them have the sun with a bright outlook. So this is one of those up and coming hot jobs. But what you see here is mechanical engineering, aerospace engineer, energy engineer. They're all related, but maybe have a different kind of focus. So this is a website where you can really easily go down the rabbit hole, just sort of clicking through different job titles, learning about them. But since we're talking about mechanical engineering as an example, I want to show you what you can learn from this website when you search for mechanical engineer. So the very first thing you're going to see is a really quick summary, a very basic 2 to 3 sentence description of what this job is and what they do. Below that, you'll see some reported example job titles. So further down from mechanical engineer, you have design maintenance engineers, for example. You have project engineers. And then all of the little hyperlinks on the bottom there, tasks, technology skills, tools used, etc. You can click on all of those and expand those to learn more about what do people that have this mechanical engineering job actually do. So on this next screen, I'm going to show you a couple of breakout pieces from those sections you can search off of. So up top we have tasks, and you're going to see there's only 5 of 28 displayed. So if you hit that plus button, you're going to be able to see 28 different related tasks to this job of mechanical engineering. So you'll see that mechanical engineers need to read and interpret blueprints, technical drawings, schematics, or computer-generated reports. They need to do some research. They need to work in collaboration with other engineers. So if we can think back to about 10 minutes ago now, hopefully it's still in your brain, those career competencies that my colleague Wayne was talking about, we can see those infused in these tasks here. Research, that's problem solving. Conferring with engineers, that's communication skills. So all of those power skills that you're developing now and you'll continue to develop through college, you'll see them in these task descriptions. You also see here is an example of the skills section. So active listening, critical thinking, some specific technical skills. So really math and science are the heavy foundations of engineering. And then I also pulled out an example of work activities for you. So not just this is the task, but like how do I actually do that? You do that by interacting with computers, making decisions and solving problems. So again, we're seeing this thread of these skills throughout. So on the next slide, I think we've got our final wrap up for our office, at least some additional resources for you. So the NACE career competencies, the focus assessment, the ONET, all of those resources we just showed you, you can access for free through our website at wmich.edu/career. Like I said at the top, if you have any questions for us, you can email us at any time at wmu-handshake@wmich.edu. And I would encourage you specifically to download our career development guide, which you can find on our website, wmich.edu/career/guide. So our career development guide, again, if you don't know what a resume is, you've never written a resume before, there's a ton of information on writing resumes, some example resumes, what they should look like. There's some practice interview help in there, job searching help. It's really kind of what I call my mobile office. Everything that I work with students on, you can download in that PDF and hang on to that. And then last but not least, would encourage you to follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just about every day, it seems like we're posting content and some tips and tricks, not just for Western students, but for high school students to even be thinking about your job search, think about skills that you want to be developing, what are some additional resources for you to use. So would encourage you to follow us on social media. And, you know, just like we said at the top, even if you go to another school other than Western, there will be a career services office on that campus. They will be promoting some similar content, have some similar resources for you. So we really encourage you to connect with career services early and often when you get to college. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Lewis.
Okay, thank you so much. That was very informative. And I was thinking, I can't wait to take the focus assessment, because even though I have one career, maybe I'll change careers when I find out something else I like to do. So, and a really good reminder too is students who are watching, this is something anyone in your family can take advantage of, the focus assessment. This is a free tool. And this is one of those times in our world that people might be thinking about changing or what's next for them. So awesome. Thank you for making us aware of this really helpful and free resource for all of us, Sarah, Wayne, and Madison. Madison, I know we might have some questions that have rolled in, so I'll let you facilitate the questions part. Thanks.
All right. So yeah, I will remind everyone, if you have any questions, you're watching this on Zoom, post your question in the chat. You can post it directly to the panelists or for everyone to see. Either way is fine. We do have one or two that have already come in, and I will check back after I've read these. So if you have a question, send it in. And our first question today is, what if I don't know what I want to major in when I get to college?
Yeah, I'm happy to take that, and Wayne, you can jump on if I forget anything there. So again, at Western specifically, but at any other college that you go to, there will be an office specifically for students who are undecided, where you can get academic advising, you can get career advising through the Career Services office. I think it's really important to take assessments like the focus, like we talked about, to really think about majors that might be a good fit for you. And I also think the most important piece of it is to find something that you're really interested in and you enjoy. So you might think long-term, we talked about mechanical engineering, you can see how much money engineers make and think, wow, that sounds like an awesome job. That's what I want to be doing. But when you do some of this discovery on ONET and you're starting in those classes and you really just don't like math and science, for example, well, that major is not going to be a good fit for you then. Because yeah, maybe there's a really, you're employable, there's jobs out there for engineering, you could make a lot of money, all of that is great. But if you don't like math and science, then it's not going to be a good fit for you. So really using your interests, your skills, a lot of the things we talked about with the focus assessment and doing some of that research on ONET or coming in to talk to somebody in the Career Services office can really help you figure out if what you're studying is a good fit for you.
I completely agree. And within that, keep in mind the aspect of the things you like to do and the things you're good at. There's a lot of things that you can explore as far as the classes for maybe graphic design, or maybe inner workings with music, or maybe just understanding history, understanding teaching. A lot of those things are experiences that can come through volunteering now, thinking about the classes that really got you excited in high school, ones that you didn't fall asleep in. As someone who fell asleep in some classes, I'll admit that. So keep in mind, it's one of those things to where, what do I like to do? Not that what my parents want me to do, not what my friends think I'm good at. What do I think I'm good at? What do I like to do? What perks my ears up, raises the eyebrows when I hear an idea? And then start exploring, because that's the fun part of it. It may be a little bit stressful to not know, but there's a lot of fun that can happen in discovery. And that's where a lot of people are at now.
Perfect, thank you. I will say I was undecided as well for 2 years, and then I took classes that I liked and I figured it out and got a degree, and here I am. So it does work out, even though it seems really, really stressful. Which actually kind of leads me into the next question that we have. If I get a degree in one thing, does that mean that I have to work in that job forever?
Yeah, this is a really good question, and I think students think about this a lot, that you're locked in, this is the only thing you can ever do. I think if we did a quick round robin of the four of us, my undergrad degree was in political science. I know Wayne has a degree in biology. Madison has a degree in art. Dr. Lewis, what was your undergrad in?
English.
Okay, so here we have a really robust group of folks that are doing awesome work with college students, and we all have taken different paths to get there. So it's really important to not lock yourself in or think that you're stuck on something just because that's the major that you've chosen, and to think also about how those power skills we talked about, that Wayne talked about at the very beginning, those are the skills that, regardless of your major, regardless of the career you go into, those are the skills that will make you employable, not the specific degree. I will say, if you're gonna want to be a nurse, you probably need to study nursing for that. If you want to be an engineer, you need to study engineering. But there are a lot of jobs out there that even if you go into nursing, you study nursing, you do that for a couple of years, you decide you don't like it, you can always change gears.
And there's a reason that I was laughing significantly at the question submitted, because as a wildlife biologist, some would say I'm in a completely different degree. I spent 4 years in undergrad studying to work with wolves and bears and other large carnivores. Some say that I still work with a different kind of beast now. I'll let everyone decide that. But it all came down to, in entering this new career, what do I like to do? I like interacting with people. I like educating people. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to be a biologist. I like conserving and I like helping people create paths forward. That's something I also would have done as a wildlife biologist as far as a nature conservationist. But now, the things I like to do, the things I was good at, is now able to be transferred into another career path because of the experiences that I was able to take advantage of, not only in college, but in high school too.
Perfect. All right. I don't see any other questions in the chat to me. Dr. Lewis, did you see anything to you?
No, I think we're good. Thank you.
All right. We are going to move to the poll questions then. We've got a couple more for you guys, so stay tuned. Okay. So for those of us on Zoom, once again, you can vote here. Here we go. And for those of us watching from other ways, you can follow along on the screen. The first question is, what is the name of the career inventory offered by WMU? So the first option is the Focus 2 assessment. The second option is job search. The third option is occupational outlook survey. And the fourth option is Clifton Strengths Quest. Okay, and then the second question is, what areas can Career and Student Employment Service Office assist college students with? So it's multiple choice again. We've got 4 options. Option 1 is resumes. Option 2 is interviewing. Option 3 is career exploration. And option 4 is registering for classes. So once again, if you haven't voted, go ahead and do that. I'm going to give you another minute. All right, wrapping up. So here are our results. Looks like 100% of you got the first one right. It is the Focus 2 assessment. And that is what we just went over in this presentation. Free to take for you online, even if you're not a Western student, but also for other college students as well. So the second one, we've got, everyone answered that one right as well. It was a little bit of a trick question. 3 of these areas are things that Career and Student Employment Services can do at usually any college. So whether you come to Western or you go somewhere else, they can help you with their resume, they can help you with interviewing, with career exploration, and usually a lot of other things too. So when in doubt, it's definitely worth a drop-in visit or a phone call. In these types of times, a lot of video visits as well. But then that registering for classes piece, that's going to be something more for an advisor. All right.
Good job, everyone, on your polls. I see you all were listening today because you got the Focus 2 assessment part right. If you walk away with anything today, we want to make sure that you know that start early and often thinking about your interests, skills, and connecting with a career services office at any college that you go to. Remember that you can change your major and you can even change your mind, and it's okay when it's thinking about a career. And finally, the other thing I really took away from today is that it's really important to think about what interests you. What are you interested in? What are you good at? Because that really might hold your interest when you think about what you want to study in college one day. So thank you to all of you for that great information. I'm excited because who knows, maybe I'll find a new career. And I wanted to just give a quick shout out to Madison. I wanted to say, Madison, I saw your Focus 2 assessment scores were around artistic was #1. And Madison built an amazing website that goes along with our webinar series. And that's linked right here on this final slide. The website gives you lots of resources and links to other things about exploring your college journey. I've actually not seen a website that's like it. It has links to podcasts, videos, resources. So I see your artistic skills coming out on Madison in that website. So I wanted to bring your attention to that. Thank you everyone for joining us today on Zoom. And hello to all of you who are watching us on Facebook and Facebook Live. And what a great way to have our series talk about the career opportunities. All of our College Day students who have attended this webinar or who watch will receive a free t-shirt. We always like those free things. So be sure if you didn't register before that you do contact us so we can get you that free t-shirt. And we wanted to just say thank you to all of us for being with us today, and thank you to our sponsors. Our next webinar will be next week on Wednesday at noon, talking about the college application process. And we have 4, in addition to that, we have 4 admissions officers from different colleges around the Kalamazoo area that will be live on the webinar to answer any questions you have about applying for college. Thank you to KCP and the WMU College Day program. See you next time as we continue to explore where are you going to college and how can we help you get there.